The air in the valley was still, heavy with dust and silence. Private Leon Graves lay prone, his cheek pressed against the unfamiliar steel of the Sniper Alligator rifle. The weapon looked more like a cannon than a rifle, and in the hands of a rookie, it should have been nothing more than a cruel joke. Yet here he was, staring down a shot so impossible that even seasoned veterans whispered it was madness. His heart pounded like a drum against the earth. He was not supposed to be the one holding the trigger today. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The order had come out of nowhere, a target beyond 3,700 meters. Wind shifting, mirage waves rising, the horizon blurred in heat. The squad's snipers, men and women who had earned scars and legends, shook their heads at the near-suicidal shot. Too far, too unstable, too risky. But Leon, he had volunteered. Not out of arrogance, but something closer to desperation. He needed to prove he belonged. His fingers trembled as they traced the cold steel trigger. Doubt gnawed at him. What if I fail? What if I let them down? Behind him, hushed murmurs passed between soldiers. Some pitied him. Others smirked, waiting for the rookie's humiliation. Yet one man, the grizzled captain with eyes like granite, said only, "Sometimes fate picks its own marksman." Leon steadied his breath, recalling his father's words from long ago, "When fear takes hold, let it sharpen you, not break you." He pressed his cheek tighter into the stock. Through the scope, the world narrowed into a single thread of possibility. The seconds stretched. He could hear everything. The rasp of boots shifting behind him, the whisper of wind combing through dry grass, the faint rattle of his own breath in his chest. He adjusted for wind, for distance, for the invisible hand of gravity, pulling the bullet down into the abyss of failure. And then he squeezed. The roar shattered the silence, kicking dust into the air like a storm. For a heartbeat, nothing. Just the echo rolling across the valley. Leon's chest burned with shame, convinced he had missed. The veterans leaned in, their eyes narrowed, waiting to confirm what they already believed. But then, the call came. Hit. Direct hit. The words rippled through the ranks, like a spark catching dry tinder. Murmurs turned to gasps. Gasps to shouts. Even the most stoic veterans froze, their disbelief painted across weathered faces. A rookie, a boy barely trusted to clean the rifles, and he had just landed a shot that would be remembered for generations. Leon lay still, his hands trembling now not from fear, but from something greater. Awe, relief. The weight of what he had done pressed into him as heavy as the rifle itself. And yet, in that glory, a shadow lingered. Had his desire to prove himself crossed into recklessness? Could he have doomed them all if he had missed? The captain stepped forward, silence cutting the chaos. He placed a hand on Leon's shoulder, firm, grounding. "Skill can be taught," he said quietly. "But courage comes from within. And today, you showed us all what that means." For the first time, Leon allowed himself a shaky smile, not for pride, but for belonging. In the eyes of the elite, he was no longer just a rookie. He was one of them. Because courage is not measured by years, or by medals. It is measured in moments when fear dares you to step forward anyway. And sometimes, a single shot changes everything. So tell me, do you believe courage is born, or made? Share your thoughts below, and if this story moved you, make sure to subscribe for more tales of quiet heroes who remind us that the impossible is often closer than we think.